Welcome to the Voice of Football podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Matt.
And let's kick it off by going over the predictions we made last week for the Premier League games. So we said that Bournemouth would beat Southampton. I said 3-0 and you said 3-1.
What was the score?
I don't want to say it. It wasn't quite right.
What did we say? Bournemouth to win?
We said Bournemouth either 3-0 or 3-1. So to 2-1, they won. Yeah. It's not off, per se. I was just like, West Brom are going to get smashed, and then they didn't get smashed, and I was like, this is awkward.
I think it was quite like a late goal or something as well. Like, it was actually quite close. And we just.
It was only like the 89th minute.
Wait, what did I say? 3-1?
3-1. You were close.
Yeah. One goal out.
Junior Stanislaus in the 89th minute. Totally rescued that one. Crystal Palace beat Huddersfield 2-0. I said 1-1 and you said 2-0 to Huddersfield.
Oh, damn it.
So,
I got excited then when you said 2-0. I was like, oh, yeah, I predicted it.
Yeah, you got the score right.
They won without my boy Zaha as well.
I think he did play.
Oh, is he back now?
Yeah, I think he's back. The boys are back in town. Your boy Zaha is back in town.
If I knew that, if I was privy to that information, it would have been an easy Crystal Palace prediction. I just assumed he wasn't there.
Any game
He
Zaha.
did play.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. A room full of surprises right now. Everton beat Stoke 2-1. I said 2-1 to Stoke, and you said 2-2. So, not bad.
We're not doing well so far.
So far? Liverpool-Watford, we were surprisingly close.
We must have predicted like 3-4-0, right?
Well, obviously the score was 5-0.
Yeah.
You said 3-0, which obviously was right, sort of. I said 5-1, because I thought Watford would score.
You were very close.
But for once, Liverpool kept a clean sheet, so who would have seen that coming, eh?
Yeah. I can forgive you for getting that one wrong.
Swansea-Tottenham, we both said 2-1.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be close. I thought we were going to find it quite difficult. 3-0 just dominated them.
Easy. Squeezed. And Man United beat Brighton 2-0. I said 3-1. And you said something I can't read because I scribbled over it.
Why would you scribble over my opinion like that?
It could say 4-2, or it could say 4... I don't think it's 4-all. That seems a little off.
No. I feel like I said 2-1.
I can't read what that says. I don't know. Well,
just go. We'll leave like a bit here for you to click on and find out from last week's episode what I went and said.
For your sake, let's just say you said 2-0.
Yeah, I think I did. I mean, I've been spot on with all these other predictions. So.
That's that one right. No doubt about it. Wigan didn't beat anyone. Southampton beat Wigan 2-0, which I said, just saying. That's the single result we got this week.
Did you say Southampton win 2-0?
Yes.
See, I said Wigan could win 1-0, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, though, right, did you watch the game?
No.
Because... hell, yeah, Wigan could have actually won it 1-0. And, I'm really annoyed. I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, come on, help me out here, Wigan. I predicted a 1-0 win, and they could have done it. They just didn't. They had so many chances at the beginning of the first half. Well, not at the beginning of the first, in the first half. And they just didn't take them.
Yeah.
And then, Southampton went and scored. And that was kind of it showed the difference, really, between the Premier League team and them.
Yeah.
Because it was just, so many chances, and they just missed. And it's Southampton just need one. I mean, right at the end, Southampton just Wigan were really pressing, and Southampton just counter-attacked, and they just, I think it was Cedric or something, he was like a right back or left back, just, counter-attacked on his own and scored, and was like, it kind of shows, really, doesn't it? So that's annoying, because I could have had that one. I could have got that one right.
You did get the next one right.
Did I?
Leicester lost 2-1 to Chelsea, and you said 2-1 to Chelsea. I said 3-1.
I didn't predict it would take him in extra time though.
No, I don't think anybody predicted. I don't think anybody predicted Morata would score either. So there's something.
God! Did you watch this game?
I watched the end of it. Yeah, I watched the extra time.
And Morata is so bad. He's actually so bad.
Tell me about him.
It's just everything. Every chance he gets, he just loses the ball, or he shoots, and it's just an awful shot. Or it's he can't even... What he was good for when he first came here, when they were let's whip it into the box and header it. Yeah. Can't even do that anymore.
He's lost his head.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's just so... it was so painful to watch. I just felt sorry. I mean, I actually put money on Chelsea to, like, win as well. Like, I put real physical money on an actual bet for Chelsea to win, and it was upsetting me just how bad Morata was. I was like, please just score a goal. And then he did score, and I was like, oh, brilliant. They'll go on and win. And then they just fucked it and lost me all my money.
Yeah. Well, they didn't fuck it for themselves. Like, they just fucked it.
Oh, that's true. Technically, they did.
They fucked it specifically for you.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They knew that you had a bet on. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't understand what's wrong with the Morata situation. Because I feel like Conte's doing everything right as well and being like, go on, just play, you'll score. And
he's doing the classic, like, give him lots of opportunity and he'll find his feet.
Yeah, and you're like, he's going to score, like, because he's good, I think.
He is good. I mean, he did score. It was like a decent goal he scored. He just should have had about 6.
And I feel like he's had those chances in every single game that Chelsea have played for the last 3 months, and then Hazard has to play up front and is like a nightmare.
Also, not that I watch Chelsea a lot, but Hazard just looks so... And I can understand, given I was also, I had money on this, so I was also getting annoyed at Morata. But Hazard just looks so fed up. Every time they tried to bring the ball forward and just lost it, Hazard was just like, oh, every time, and just like put his head back. He just gave up. He didn't like even run back anymore.
Yeah,
he looks fed up as well. But I don't know. He's like, I mean, there's obviously stupid rumours every season. Is he even in like links with anyone at the minute? I mean, Real Madrid are always like there or thereabouts, aren't they?
Yeah, all the Gwilym Blakes of the world are saying he's Real Madrid bound because they didn't. They were saying they didn't.
So's
buy
everyone.
Like...
So's Harry Kane. So's Dele Alli. So's Courtois.
Yeah,
every player's going to Real Madrid apparently, and Lewandowski.
I did see an article, to be fair, that said they haven't bought anyone like this season, and they made like 73 million from selling people. So usually, like every season they buy their Galactico.
The Galactico, yeah.
So like they were like, oh, maybe next season they're going to get 2. Oh, or maybe they're going to spend like 150 million, and everyone's
Did they
like,
not buy anyone this season like big?
No, I spent like 30 million, I think, and sold some people.
I think you're lying.
I'm not lying. Check the stats, mon frere. Anyway, so I
ponder
think
that while you make your next point.
I think Hazard maybe. I feel like he's a good fit for when Ronaldo like shimmies away.
Yeah.
Either that or Harry Kane.
No Harry Kane. No, Ronaldo likes linking up with Benzema too much, according to Gwilym Blake.
Oh God, yeah, him and Benzema. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. What was I going to say though? I remember what I was going to say. I can't believe that Chelsea scored the second goal in the first place, because they got to extra time, and it was like Leicester were having some good attacks and there were some good moments, and then literally they just whipped the ball in and Schmeichel just ran past it.
Yeah, I mean, of all people to get their head on the ball, Pedro's probably not the one, is he?
Yeah, it was like watching.
Did he get his head on the ball?
Yeah, they crossed it from just outside the area, and Schmeichel just threw himself like past the ball to go and punch it, and I was just like, why?
Admittedly, right, I can't understand why he did that in the first place. But secondly, I hate the one line, a bit of commentary that everyone seems to always say when a keeper does that, which is, oh well, if you're coming out for it, you've got to get it.
Yeah.
And that was said when he did that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure a keeper thinks he's going to get it, or else he probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't say if you go for that, you've got to think you're going to get it. It does say you have to get it.
You have to get it, yeah, but like that explains the logic in his head, because he's like, I'm going to get this.
Yeah, we all see the logic. We're all like, oh, he thought he was going to get it. It's just a bad decision. You're just like, you were never going to get it. Why would you do that?
I don't know. I can slightly understand why he came out for that. But, I mean, I'm wrong.
I'm just going to let you just dig your own hole.
I can't even think what to say. Because, just like an inch more and he's punching that straight out. Jamie Vardy collects it, counter-attack, it's a goal. Then no one says anything, does it?
Yeah.
Do they? But, Speaking of, by the way, did you see the draw?
Yes.
The host woman fucked it up spectacularly at the end. Like, there's 4 teams to read out. You've just got to get 2 and 2 together, and she's got completely the wrong ones. Very funny to watch.
Bless.
But, I was a bit like, wait, what? So we haven't got Man United.
I sort of don't understand like why they do the draw the way they do. Like it's sort of like cute, but at the same time, like, do you really need to put like the little like
Four
the little
balls.
balls in the thing? And the guy like moves his hand around and then picks them out, and I'm like, I get it, it's kind of cute, but like you could probably just tell me what they are.
I was going to say,
Like-
I'd almost rather you just go, yeah, Tottenham playing a Man United, then I can go, it's fixed. Whereas when we get Man United and they're doing the little like hand in the bowl thing, I'm like, it's not fixed, but it feels it. Like,
I mean, it could still be fixed.
could still. I mean, it was two ex-Chelsea players that did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So need to get like Jermaine Genius in there next time.
He's probably looking for work now, isn't he, to be fair?
He's on Match of the Day.
He's not regularly enough.
Not regularly enough.
Probably not paying his mortgage.
Living paycheck to paycheck. The life of an ex-footballer. Bless him.
Yeah, him and Danny Murphy. Do you know what? Danny Murphy on Match of the Day I can slightly deal with. Mm-hmm. But in commentary, so fucking irritating. He's just so miserable. He's like, I think he was commentating the Leicester Chelsea game.
Yeah.
I think that might have been where I was getting bored of him. Because he was just so, like, negative about everything. And I was like, Gary Neville got that way in the Man City game against Arsenal as well, obviously.
Yeah.
He was moaning at Arsenal players for, like, walking. But, yeah, it's really annoying when they're, like, so miserable. The poor other co-commentator guy, they're always trying their best to, like, say something interesting and they just get shut down.
The one I always hate is Lee Dixon.
Yeah.
He does like he's just like literally the other commentator will say something and be like, "Oh, that was a really good piece of skill, wasn't it?" And Lee'd be like, "Well, wasn't really. It was all right, I guess." Like, I think you really should have defended it better. And you're like, Lee, just let everyone enjoy the football, all right? It's not. Calm yourself, will you?
Should I ask, Martin? Is it Martin Keown?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also, whichever way is grammatically correct. On Match of the Day is quite miserable as well. I'm starting to see a pattern with pundits, to be fair. They all just seem a bit miserable and bitter about like their playing days.
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan Mason will get there soon. He'll be like,
oh, he's so bloody dull as well, though.
Bless him.
Like he just talks. You're like, I'm actually going to fall asleep, Ryan. Like as much as I'm like, please be a Tottenham coach, I can just imagine him trying to coach some youngsters and them just being like, what did he say? I wasn't paying attention. I got bored halfway through. Imagine Pochettino comes in and he's got like all these cool analogies. He's got like PowerPoint presentation with some smooth transitions, some slides.
Transitions.
Like it's got some pictures. He's probably got some of those like HTTP links and stuff like that you put in. He's got it down. But Ryan Mason probably comes in with like a little flip chart or something.
He's got one of those giant cardboard like pieces of paper he just brings out. It's like, oh look, here is my 17-step action plan to scoring a goal. And Poch is like, it is about the passion. You play the game, you score the goal, it's beautiful. Ryan's like, I got a plan.
Exactly. I feel, Pochettino would come in with some metaphors and you'd go, wow, I've never even considered football was actually like all these other things. And, football is life. Whereas Ryan Mason's just like, if you pass the ball to him, he could pass it to this other guy. And then that guy may take a shot. And then we might be 1-0. So, sorry, Ryan. I love you. But,
yeah, he's a sweet boy.
I might be wrong because that might be his public image that's just a bit like, maybe just a bit awkward and reserved.
I feel like I'd be like awkward like the first like 100 times I was on telly as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I feel like playing football is different. Because, when you see, like the players, like, just played a whole game of football, and especially if it's someone like Ronaldo or something like that, and you're like, wow, you're really, like, but, he's put the team on his back. He's done, and then you see him in the interview, and he's like, I don't really care. It's sort of awkward. I don't know. It's, we play football. It was great. I don't know. Why am I here? And you're like, really? Like, I feel like I'd want to be like, oh, yeah, it was a great game. I loved it. I had a great time.
I do. I almost, like, at times, I'm getting bored of all the interviews after the game because it feels so, like, rehearsed in everything that the people say. There's no more, like, oh, shit, we could have lost that, couldn't we? But we came back. Wow, what a win. It's all just like, the team played very well and, I got a couple of goals, but it's not about me. It's not about the individual performance. It's all about the team. Happy with the 3 points today. I'm just glad we got the win. We will look on to next week and look to improve, get back onto the training pitch. look at like sit down Monday morning, see what happened with the game, what went wrong, what went well, and then we move on to next week. See, like I've got it down. I could do it right now.
I feel like it would be really good, like if they just slipped in something you'd never expect in amongst, like they start the usual spiel, and then like halfway through they're just like, yeah, so we're gonna sit down Monday morning, gonna join ISIS, and then I'm gonna carry on. And you're like, wait, what, did Harry Kane just? No, I'm sure he didn't. He probably just said something about training or something. He was just like, nah.
Something about ice, you know.
Yeah, he's got to put ice on his leg. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Although I will say the only person who doesn't answer questions in the standard fashion anymore, apparently, is Mourinho.
I was going to say Jose Mourinho
says whatever he wants to say.
I don't even know what he talks about at all. I mean, you know, I said earlier about Pochettino coming in with the metaphors. I don't know what Mourinho's on.
Yeah, I don't understand anymore.
Admittedly, I've seen all these things. Like, it's a 12-minute interview. I don't know if that's long or short, because I don't ever watch these interviews like to their full length.
Wait, so it's a 12-minute answer to a question.
Oh my god, is that what it was?
Yeah. So the guy.
Oh my god! I thought
it
was like that was his whole interview.
The guy asked him a question. He spoke for 12 minutes straight.
Jesus.
And I
didn't realise that bit.
I can't even begin to paraphrase, but it was like when someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, and you sort of just start talking, and you're like, God, I hope these words start making sense in a minute. Like, something's got to happen. Like, my brain will work it out.
Yeah, it's that like piece of coursework that you're like, right, I don't actually know where to start. I'll just put some words on a page, and you know, it will flow at some point. Something will link.
Yeah, it's like you start with like dictionary definition of the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines giving a long answer as, and you're like, this'll stall. I've only got 200 more words to do.
I had no idea that was just one answer. I thought that was the whole interview. Every time I saw it, it was like 12 minutes. I was like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Jesus, that's really bad for one answer.
I mean, yeah.
We watched the game the other night, to be fair, where they won, but only just. Oh, it's the Brighton, I think, wasn't it?
It was the FA Cup one.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, Matic is like an island of."
Oh my god.
Island of concentration and composure, or something weird like that. And just like, and even still, I didn't really know what he was talking about. Jake Humphrey, although I don't like the guy as a presenter much, he did well to actually like pull out what the hell Mourinho was talking about, because I just sort of sat through and I was like, what is he talking about? Previously,
Jose seems to have had a problem with Pogba.
Yeah.
And he's like left him out of games, and Pogba's been like, I'm all right. And then the France manager spoke to him and he was like, oh, Pogba, very sad. And you're like, great. I'm sure the man can speak for himself, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And now the way that he's sort of moved that approach, I don't want to say like it's the Jose approach, but it is a common theme of
definitely.
Kind of telling people where they're going wrong a lot.
Yeah.
To Luke Shaw. How do we feel about, because he's still quite young, has been injured for a long time.
I don't even know if it's worth discussing that it's actually him. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think it is him. I feel like it's such a... I mean, he might be performing badly, but I think it's just such a Mourinho way of distracting, isn't it? But there was an interesting thing I saw from the after the Sevilla game, where he... Like, I can't remember what he said, but he basically sort of took a bit more of the... You know, he defended his team a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I think it was this whole weird conversation about how, you know, Man United have been in Champions League several years and never won it and gone out. You know, he did all this, and I feel like that was his little way of defending his team.
Yeah.
To be like, don't worry, guys, I got you. And then I think when they performed the way they did against Brighton, that's why he then singled them all out and was like, you're all shit again.
Yeah. Because
he was like, I defended you against, like, for losing against Sevilla, and you haven't performed for me still.
Yeah.
So they're all just very interesting tactics, but I just feel so bad for Luke Shaw.
I
just don't think it's him.
That's what I mean, though. I feel like that Luke Shaw is a different situation. I feel like to, like, Pogba as an individual is one thing, and the whole team, like the whole Jose style, is you could, you know, by saying like Matic is an island of whatever he was like, blah blah blah. Like, you're insulting the whole team. That's fine. but like the way that he talks every time he goes back to Luke Shaw, like in that after that FA Cup one, part of his like rant was about Luke Shaw, who played the first half, and everyone was like, I don't really see him do anything wrong, but then he took him off at half time.
Yeah.
They won the game. You could just shut up about it. But then when the guy's like, oh, so Luke Shaw, like, we went off at half time, what was up with that? Instead of just being like, I wanted to make up like needed a tactical change, or
I feel like
even
that
just being like, he wasn't having a great half.
I feel like that's just perfect time for Jose Mourinho to go, aren't I a genius?
Yeah.
Took Shaw off at half time, put Young on. Look at, we won. Look at that. Instead, he decided to just single him out and be like, is this guy still shit?
He has to sit there and just have a go about him. And it's like, I don't understand where that fits in with... Because part of me, like, if you look from the player's perspective, you're like, Shaw's been injured for a long time, and then he comes back and he's barely played, so there's not really much to complain about. Like, it's not like he's got on the pitch, like, every week, and you're like, wow. Not like he's Morata.
Yeah,
like, he's not doing it every week, so... And then... From like the other perspective, you're like, he's 23 maybe.
Yeah, he's not
something like that.
Old.
So it's like he's still like he's not very like he's had 3 years at Man United now, 2.
Yeah, it must be about that.
So you haven't maybe had much time to kind of experience the like being a Man United player and everyone looking at you and all the pressure that comes. I feel like there's like an element of like, Jose, you'd like Pogba can take it. He's Pogba. Yeah. He's out there with his funny haircut being like
Pogba is Pogba. I feel like Shaw's such a nice guy from Southampton that's like, I just want to kind of play football and just enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and even then from his perspective, I was like, if Jose wanted to get rid of him, he's like, I don't like him, he's not good enough. Surely, if you're trying to sell him, presumably for as much as you bought him for, because he's still young, surely you should be saying how good he is.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like who's going to want to buy Luke
everyone
Shaw
else?
now?
Everyone else is watching it going, it's not that bad. But then he comes out and then just criticises him all the time. So if you are trying to sell him, that is a weird way of doing it.
Because I think he could be really good.
Yeah.
Like
I think he should be up there. If him and Danny Rose were fit, that would be a hell of a competition for left back for England. But at the minute, we're like, I don't know who you play there.
Because you can even have, like, Danny Rose is a bit older as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like, you can have them, like, he could be the next person after Danny Rose to be a great left back for England. But it just seems insane when you've got, especially when you have no other left back, really.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm going to play
when you play Ashley Young, who's like, I've converted him into a left back.
So it just seems kind of insane to take out all of your... Like, it seems so unaware, do you know what I mean? To single out him and not think about everything else, not think about that the club's going to want to sell him, not think that he... Like, because he can't exactly come out and be like, yeah, Mourinho's a dick, because that makes you look really bad.
That's what's quite sad recently, because he did come out and say he's going to have to think about his future at the end.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, fair play to you, because I would too. Because there was an interesting point. It might have been a family... I think it was a family member... that was just like, in any other workplace, that's just like assault by your boss.
Yeah.
He's just coming out and just constantly being like, you're shit at what you do. There's no like support for getting better. He just keeps on like coming and announcing it to everyone. It's like, just like going into a team meeting and going, guys, this guy is shit, bad at his job. I'm not going to offer him any training on how to like improve in that position. Just naturally, you are shit.
Yeah.
Like, it just wouldn't be okay to do that.
Especially on like a public stage, do you know what I mean? Like if he's like he goes to whatever Carrington training ground and he like drives this little like Range Rover in, and then Jose's waiting at the gates being like, "You're terrible, Luke. Get out." I don't know why he sounds like he's from EastEnders.
Get out,
get out of my pub. But
the only thing I can see it possibly being is that so many people are like, we bought this guy for a lot of money. He needs to play, and every time he doesn't play, people are like, why isn't Luke Shaw playing? And then I don't know if that's his way of being like, look at what happens when Luke Shaw plays, he's shit.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if he's trying to like show the world why Luke Shaw isn't playing, and people need to stop moaning at him for not playing Luke Shaw.
I can see what you mean. I can definitely see that being a Mourinho
that's
thing
what I mean.
to do.
I feel like that's the Mourinho logic that I could see that's in place. I could feel like the board are like, look, we paid for this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why you're playing Ashley Young there when Luke Shaw's perfectly fit, should be playing. And he's like, look, he's shit. Like, I don't want him in my team anymore.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And it's just like, it's sad because that's his like bitter way of proving a point, I feel.
Yeah.
You know, he'd lose the title to go, I don't want this player, stop making me play him. You know, he'd sacrifice his success just to prove a point.
It just seems insane, especially almost in a context of football as like a wider thing now, where like Jose's almost been like, he's starting to get left behind a little bit.
Yeah,
like he's starting to be like, oh, I play defensive, and I was like, no, we don't really do defensive anymore. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be like someone coming in now and being like, I've just invented 4-4-2, and someone's like, yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah.
I know 4-4-2. Like Jose's like, oh, we're just gonna not let you score, and you're like,
the three at the back that Tottenham and Chelsea were so like on it last season. Everyone's gone back to 4 at the back. That's just been and gone. That was like, oh, let me counter this move, and everyone's gone, we know how to play against 3 at the back now, and everyone's gone like, shit, let's go back to 4.
Yeah.
Like, that's how quickly things are moving on.
So I can see in the wider context, it's like another one of those things where to Jose, he's like, I'm going to criticise him and that's going to get good results.
Yeah.
But like, have you not seen like De Bruyne and Salah and people like that who Mourinho's like, nah, terrible, terrible. And then they go somewhere else and someone's like, you can do it. And then they're like, I can do it. And I feel like Luke Shaw could just be like, he could go to Tottenham and Poch would be like, you're a pretty good left back, Luke, and he's like, you know what, I am.
That's I think that's the difference, isn't it? Because I think we've said it about people like Guardiola before, in that like that's the difference between a manager and like a coach. Because I feel like Pochettino, he's never had the money, so he has to like go, right, I'm going to turn you into a good player. He's like, Kyle Walker, fucking defend, Kyle.
Yeah.
He's like, stop running forwards all the time. And like, you know, then he goes off to Man City and he's just incredible. So that's fine. But yeah, I feel like Mourinho so many times is just like, oh yeah, I've got the money. You just bring in the person that's good, and you're like, you should know how to play this position, how to play my way, because you're that good player. You know, I don't feel like he can coach very much anymore. I think he's great tactically, although as you say, I think he's getting on a bit now. But I think he's good tactically in that he knows roughly how to play against people and picking the right people to play in that position each time. Like, he gets their roles right, but I don't think he necessarily develops players anymore.
Yeah, I feel like my hot take for the day is that Luke Shaw will go on to be one of those players, and he'll turn out to be really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like that Mourinho, and this might come... I feel like this is the kind of thing that will come back to bite you if he turned out to be really successful again. But I feel like Mourinho has gone over the peak a little and is now just surviving off of his sort of personality and his like aggressive sort of demeanour.
Yeah.
And when you're the manager of somewhere like Man United, you need to be. Like, it's the reason, David Moyes like really struggled, I think. Is because he was like,
nice
yeah, I'm just a nice, I could be a nice manager, and they're like, we're not winning games, and he's like, I'm scared. It's the reason like Louis van Gaal was actually alright, is because he was like, nope, I'm doing this. Like, I don't care about any of this. So like Jose can survive on the, I'm Jose, and I play this way, and you're all going to shut up about it, and I'm going to tell Luke Shaw what I think, and Pogba's not playing, and I'm doing what I want. And then I feel like after a while he's going to start to slip down, and you're going to be like, end up in a Chelsea situation where he finishes like 8th or whatever.
Yeah, Manchester United obviously, he finished 10th with Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, don't get me wrong, Manchester United is still a huge club, but I don't know where he would go from there. He's done Real Madrid, he's done Man United, done Chelsea, done Porto, I want to say Inter Milan as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, he's been at the, where isn't he conquered? Germany, I suppose, maybe, Bayern Munich, one of those.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, like, because when Tottenham went out to Juventus recently, there was that moment where, like, it was so, just felt so naive defensively, like how we played in that game in the end, to concede so quickly, just 2 goals.
Yeah.
Well, more when we conceded 1, I can understand that, but we conceded so quickly again.
Yeah.
That was where I was like, oh my God, I need like Mourinho to manage this team, because that would be like Mourinho would know how to set up in that game. But I was then proved wrong like the next night, where they then lost to Sevilla. Yeah. So yeah, for many years I'd have taken Mourinho all day, because I'd been like, please, you know how to play against Juventus. Just please let us get a draw, let us get through, and he'd be fine. But this is the year he hasn't done it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just struggling with just because his teams now aren't performing how he wants them to. I don't know if he can handle not winning things anymore.
He's starting to run out of excuses like he did at Chelsea, where he's like, I've spent a lot of money and I've got all the players I want, and now I'm not sure what to say.
Yeah.
And I feel that's sort of the Jose cycle, isn't it? Where he got like when he went to Real Madrid and then he won. He was really, really successful, won loads of things, but then he had his perfect team and then they stopped winning, and he was like, okay, guess I'll just go then.
Yeah, there's a very good point, but I think it was by Gary Neville that just said it's the consistency that I think Mourinho suffers with. He's very good at very quick, short-term success because he comes into a club and he's like, right, this is how we're playing.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the 200 million. I'm going to go out and buy this player and this player and this player. They're going to improve our squad. Oh, look at that. We've won the league again.
Yeah.
But the next season doing it again, I think it all comes back down to that coaching problem.
Yeah.
Is that he can't do that. So, the quick-term success is fine because everyone's like, oh my God, it's Jose Mourinho, quick. Like, let's mould into what he wants us to do, and it's brilliant for a season. And next season they're like, oh yeah, let's crack on, coach. And he's like, no, same again. And you're like, oh, okay. You just carry on, and then they must just get, I don't know, tired of it, I guess, because he probably is every time he's just like, no, stay in that position. You defend and defend. It might not even be very fun being a footballer under him, to be honest, anymore.
Yeah, I can imagine that he'd be the kind of guy who would make me stop wanting to play. I'd be like, please, can I just play the football I want to play?
Can I just roll with the ball down the wing, please? Can I cut inside and just finesse it into that far corner?
I feel like I'd love being on whatever the opposite wing was. I feel like I'd start the game on the right wing and he'd be on the touchline on the left. And then at half time I'd be like, hey, can I swap to the other side? Because I'm I don't want to be running down the wing with the ball and just hear Jose being like, pass it backwards. You haven't
Hold on to it.
You're not marking him. And I've got the ball.
Luke, you're shit.
Yeah. He's not even on the pitch, Jose. Come.
That was an interesting bit. When he came back, there was that game where Luke Shaw came back from injury, and everyone was like, "Oh, didn't he do well?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, it's only because he was on my side of the pitch, and I was telling him what to do." He was like, "He needs to think for himself." I was like, "Oh, for God's sake,
let him have one good game,
Jose.
Please." Poor kid. He's walking in and be like, "I painted this for you, Jose," and he's like, "Shit. You haven't made the Mona Lisa yet, and that's what I wanted, goddammit."
He'd be he'd be the kind of guy who'd give Luke Shaw one of those dot-to-dot colouring book, drawing books or whatever. And then Luke Shaw comes and he's like, "Look at this masterpiece, Joe." Then he's like, "Yeah, well, I gave you all the dots to do." There was nothing to do, was there?
You can draw whatever you want, Luke. I've drawn this. I don't like it. You drew it wrong. For God's sake. Anyway, will you be going to Russia? Is the question.
Me personally?
Yes.
No. I mean, I wouldn't go to Russia any day of the week, but...
Any day of the week?
Yeah, not to see England, definitely not. I wouldn't, to be honest, if England were playing down the road, unless tickets were probably free, I don't think I'd go see them.
Yeah, I barely make it out of my house to see England.
I mean, we're very close to London.
Yeah.
And, when they play at Wembley, I can't bother.
Well, I'm not going to the pub to watch England. What do you think I'm not going to Russia?
Do you know what? It's a struggle these days just turning on ITV to watch.
I'm like, really? Are we going to defend for the whole again? 90 minutes?
Are we going to defend for the whole 90 minutes? Are they going to defend for the whole 90 minutes?
Is Jordan Henderson just going to pass it sideways? I figured that actually I've worked out what Jordan Henderson is. He's like a guillotine. The things you have to have at school where to cut the paper really nicely.
Oh, yeah.
So you slide it in, but he only goes sideways.
So that's him in the middle of the pitch. He just goes sideways.
You can turn him, but then he'll only go up and down. And you're like, no, I need him to go a little bit. Cause you have to,
I think he's more like table football people. He's just stuck in the middle. He's just that stick that just goes up and down. Although they do pass it forwards and backwards, to be fair, when you spin him. So he's like a sideways one.
We have to make that the thumbnail of a table football person with Jordan Henderson's face. That's so good. I love it. Anyway, the point.
Yes, back to Russia.
Aside from going to not wanting to watch England in the first place, England fans going to Russia, how do we feel about, or England themselves going to Russia?
Yeah, there's a big call suddenly to boycott Russia altogether. I understand it politically, but you can't do that, right? I mean, that's coming from me, I guess, because I'm just like, football's the most important thing in the world. I love football. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it I would agree with you. I don't think it makes sense to not.
I don't know why. Like in this modern world, like we'll be all right, right?
I don't think they were not going for the sake of like us. Like it would be like a protest not going, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't see the point in necessarily doing that.
I never understand the point of that sort of thing. I more think go the other way. Like Theresa May and everybody in the royal family is everything is already like, oh, we're not going to Russia.
Yeah.
I would be there. I'd be like, screw you, Putin.
Got him.
Yeah, but I'd be there. I'd be like, yes, England, go on. I'd be like cheering when it's like goals go in. Every time Henderson passes it sideways, I'd be like, way, you know, like I'd go so far the other way. I don't feel like hiding away is the right thing to do in this situation.
Yeah, I don't think it also makes sense to like effectively like punish everyone else.
Yeah.
For it, there's an element I can understand why you would be like no one important go to this type thing.
Yeah.
But if you like the England team have trained for it, they're going to want to go.
I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of the thing is like that's very unfair on the fans. But to be honest, I'm not bothered if they were like, oh yeah, England not going. I'd be like, I'll wait 4 years, I'll do another one. But more importantly, it would be so unfair on the football players.
Yeah.
Like actually themselves, because that is a big moment in their career, like the chance to win a World Cup. Maybe like don't go to the Euros if that was in Russia. I wouldn't be so bothered about that one. But the World Cup, you got to go to, like especially as a football player.
Yeah.
So like you get what 3, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
4 like max, like in your lifetime as a footballer probably. So you take every chance you can. These people are literally almost fighting for a spot to go.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they'll be fighting for a spot to go, and the England fans will be fighting to get out.
Yeah.
Be all around fighting. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel. I suppose there have been lots of like Europa League and like Champions League games where you go to like English teams go to Russia, don't they?
Yeah.
I think the main thing, and this is going to sound like not in terms of the context of like the political reasons why, but I really hope that England fans just shut up and get on with it.
Yeah, I don't...
Because
I saw all this stuff about the fights. I mean, I didn't see this at the time, but I saw all this stuff about the fights and things. I was like, just stop that. Why do we need to do that? Like, it's just football.
It would be... What would be
care.
excellent is if we went to the World Cup and all the England fans went and there was loads of them and they were all like really well behaved. I feel like that would annoy the Russians more. They'd be like, oh man, these English people are just really nice. Like,
we do have such a reputation, like throughout the world, to be honest. Like of just we go abroad and we just get drunk and just like party and just fight, and it's just like, oh, can we not have that reputation, please?
Yeah.
Like I could just live without that.
Because that's what they're good at. Like the Russians are good at like beating people up. Like that's like their thing.
Yeah, you probably have like Dave from Sussex. It's got like a huge beer belly taking on to be non-politically correct, like Vladimir that's like like trains hard every day.
Well, that's what I mean. There'll be like Dave who sits in the pub and was like, "Oh, I've been in loads of fights, mate."
Yeah, shouting at Harry Kane, being like, "Oh, I could have scored that one, you lazy cunt."
I'll be sitting there, being, probably 15 years ago, I beat up one man. I'm hard. And you're like,
he's that guy that's like, "Oh yeah, I used to train with the West Ham under 10s."
Oh, for God's sake! Yeah. There's always one in every pub.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's going to be the main problem. Is you get like that mix of like actually hard Russians who don't like English people who don't like Russians who think they're hard, and then you just put them in a stadium and are like, yo, you want to watch this game of incredibly intense football and hope nothing gets out of hand?
Yeah. I mean, if we won the World Cup, I'd like to think that wouldn't happen. But to be honest, I think we would destroy even more stuff.
Yes.
It
would be worse. We'd be like, your place sucks. We're the best. Yeah. We're like everything that... English football hooligans are like everything that Americans say, but we actually do it. Like, Americans walk around being like, we're the best, yo, go America. And we're like, yeah, we're the best, smash your stuff. Hey, you built that? Nah, I'm going to break it.
Oh yeah, you see all those videos and stuff of like when they fight each other and they're smashing all these like cafes, like chairs and things. You're like, oh, They're so like unfair on the little cafe. It's never England as well. Like smash up like Jeff's Cafe or something. Not like some lovely little artisan cafe in like a little side street in France. Like, that's so unfair.
Someone's coming out and be like, I made you a croissant. And they're like, no, get out, mate. Where's my point? And you're like,
he's like, don't you speak proper English round here? God,
yeah.
Where's a fried breakfast? Like, oh.
But yeah, I won't be going to Russia.
No, nor will I.
I'm gonna say it's a political statement, but I just can't afford to go, and I don't really want to.
I don't really want to go. I don't know. As I say, I wouldn't want to go see England, so that rules me out. But B, I'm not particularly bothered about seeing Russia either.
Belgium are going to win the World Cup anyway, right?
Oh, I hope so.
Your prediction?
I'd definitely go and see them. Yeah, Belgium are going to win it. I really hope Belgium or France. You know, I want like an underdog, but like a quality underdog.
A quality underdog. Not like too much of an underdog, just enough of an underdog.
Not so much that they're an overdog.
An overdog?
Yeah, well, what's the opposite?
Of an underdog? An overcat? I don't know.
What do the people call it? Just like the expected winners?
The best team. That's what they're called, the best team. Moving away from Russian news, did you see Ryan Mason and Laura Bassett go to pretend to be VAR like experts?
Oh, I did. It was a very awkward, like cringy video.
It was quite awkward.
Like,
I'll give it that.
Presentation skills need to be like developed a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, it did seem like when you do a school like thing and they give you the video camera and you're like, just say something. Say like something to introduce it, and they're like, so we're here today to see VAR, aren't we, Laura? Yes, we are, Ryan. And you're like, oh god.
Thank you. Cue cringy ref person that also comes in.
God.
Like, so this is the video room.
Yeah, obviously, where you've got all of the videos. Anyway, so you got to see a little bit behind the scenes for anyone who hasn't seen it of how VAR works, and they had like they have like loads of little screens and then loads of cameras with different views. Yeah,
it was called the Bank of Angles.
The Bank of Angles.
It was just a screen with a lot of like different angles.
It was literally a bank of angles.
It was literally a bank of angles.
An angle bank.
An angle bank.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything worse than that.
So they had like their bank of angles, and then when they think they see an incident or something, then they can communicate to the referee and blah 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 blah. So they had Ryan Mason pretend to be the referee, sitting on this exercise bike.
Yeah, what? I'm still no clearer. I mean, overall, I'm still no clearer really about what VAR does. But in this particular moment, I don't get the bike.
Is he supposed to be running? He can't run about, can he?
But why does he have to run about? Why can't you sit there and watch the game like a normal person?
Well, because he's the referee. The referee can't just sit at the side of the pitch and watch the game. He has to be like in the game. He has to be running about.
Oh, so he's being the actual ref.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was going to be in that room.
No.
Oh, he's pretending to be the ref. That makes more sense.
You were like, yeah, maybe he just needs to do some cardio.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I thought it was like some cool psychological trick of like, oh, if you get your muscles moving, you think like on a higher level or something, you're more concentrated.
He's actually the referee.
Oh, he's
just
being
like
the referee.
The fake referee for the game.
Now I get the bike. I mean, I still don't understand VAR, but I get the bike involvement.
Ryan Mason sits on the bike being the fake referee for the situation.
Yes.
And then Laura is sitting in the VAR room delivering advice to him when he needs it. So, the point that maybe we couldn't quite grasp between us is how it works.
Yeah. Because I'm struggling with the concept of whether... Because this is where you think it's both. Because I can't understand whether it's... The ref stops the play and asks VAR to check it because he's unsure if something's happened, or the ref just goes on as normal and VAR intervenes saying, hang on, don't do that, because we think this might have happened.
Yeah.
But you think it might be a bit of both.
Well, the situation that they gave was that a tackle came in and then Ryan Mason went to VAR, effectively, and was like, oh, can you check that this should be a yellow and not a red?
Yeah.
So then she checked and was like, yeah, it's yellow, not a red. So that was the situation they gave. But when the guy was talking to Laura, he was also saying if there is a clear and obvious error... I hate that phrase now. Everyone says it so many times that now I'm like, oh my God, you shut up about your clear and obvious error.
Clear and obvious
because
error.
I don't understand what that means anymore.
Well, I don't think they even know. Because what is a clear and obvious error?
Well, that was.
I mean, obviously,
that was the
Chamberlain
point.
or whatever, he's getting sent off instead of like
instead of Gibbs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a big clear and obvious area.
Error. Clear and obvious area. Obviously, like I think that was the point they were trying to make. That's the point I did get out of it. Was that when they were talking about what is a clear and obvious error, they were saying that'll differ depending on who that person is that's on the VAR system.
Yeah.
So I think the point they were making there was if you see something the referee hasn't seen, then you can go to him.
Yeah, because it was interesting because when this particular incident happened that they showed, it sounded as if they let the ref give the yellow card, but then they let the VAR person check it and then say, is there any reason why the ref should have given a red instead of a yellow there?
Yeah.
They go, no, so there's no intervention happens at all.
Yeah, and they also look for other things that the ref might have missed. So I think that's why it works like a collaboration kind of thing.
So so it's interesting to know that that's always going on.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether the ref needs them or not. They're constantly like, oh yeah, we're checking this all the time, and they'll step in.
I feel like one thing that would be really good, and it's really, really simple, is literally just to have the VAR person for the game be named like the referee is.
Yeah.
So you know how they're like...
I think they are.
The referee... Are they?
Yeah, because I'm sure when I've watched it, I think the commentator says, oh, such and such is the VAR person that we're going to today.
Because I feel like it would be better. Like, now I've seen
I don't think it's like publicly like announced or you see it and it doesn't come up like on the TV, but I'm pretty sure the commentator said it.
Yeah, that's sort of what I mean is like, you know how like when they show the team lineups, they show like who the officials are? I almost feel like it would help to not call it VAR and call it like this guy operating
Well,
VAR.
when they're always checking with the fourth official or something.
Yeah.
I suppose that's not a name.
I feel like the reason I say that though is because there's clearly an element of if, say, someone was offside or someone wasn't, then they go to VAR. VAR looks at the line and decides, okay, this is or this isn't. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And sort of just works like we always get the correct decision. But it seems like the VAR system works more just as a second referee who can see all the angles.
Mm.
So it's still his opinion. Do you know what I mean? He still has to decide, is this a red or is this a yellow, or is this offside or is it not? And I feel like it would help then if you made it like the referee is. Yeah. So you say, look, VAR isn't always right, but what we're hoping is it's more right than the ref is. It's just a second ref. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I feel like it would help to have, okay, so we have Neil Swarbrick who's doing the refereeing today, and then back at VAR is whoever. And then when it goes, instead of being like, we're going to VAR, you're going, we're going to Dave, whatever, second referee, and he has his like opinion on it. Yeah. Because I feel like that makes people less angry when they're like, oh my God, like...
Yeah, well, but the fact that you call it VAR and it's like a computer, you're like, why are you not 100% right?
Exactly.
Because even the most blatant, like, decisions, even the fans that are the fans of the team that's been given against are obviously going to go, well, that's wrong. Yeah. He could be a foot, like, 10 feet offside and they'd be like, well, he's not. Yeah. But... So I know what you mean. It would be more interesting to see it as a person because they go, oh, well, yeah. Because what was interesting, what game was it? It was Tottenham versus somebody. And I think it was the goal was given as offside or something to that extent. Right. When, I think it might have been Swansea, actually. Okay. And, yeah, I think a goal was given as offside. I think it was Son that scored it. And it had to go to VAR. But it was so close that even VAR couldn't decide whether it was actually offside or not. Yeah. At which point they said, they were like, oh, because this is what I saw anyway. I don't know if this is actually true, but if it is, I'd like it to be true. Because it couldn't be decided even by VAR, they just go with what the officials said to begin with, which I quite like because that's just like, you know what? Because it doesn't mean it goes over to VAR and they have to give a decision. Yeah. If even VAR can't determine it, safely just go with what the ref said because why not? That's the easier thing to do. So if that's what's happening as well, I quite like that part of it because that it's nice that it doesn't have to, the referee isn't just like all the power is on VAR. Yeah. It's not like they have to make a decision 100% of the time. They can also be like, you know what, we don't actually know. Yeah. So whatever the ref saw or whatever the linesman feels, because he's got probably the best angle instead of all the cameras, to be honest. Whatever the linesman thinks, we'll stick with that because it's too close to decide. So that was a good bit of it.
I feel like that's more of, like you said, that's more of what they need to make clear.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. Instead of, because I feel like so many people have the opinion that VAR is, like you said, it's just a computer or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, is man offside? And computer goes, yes. And you're like, cool.
Yeah.
That's that one worked out then. Or is that a red?
I mean,
and computer goes,
we've
yes.
seen it on FIFA when it's like this person's offside. You're like, oh, they're not though. They're not though. And that is a computer that's got a lot of ones and zeros deciding whether somebody's offside.
Yeah.
Which should be able to work out because it is making the game, and it still can't get it completely right. So you need to. Yeah, people just need to be more aware that is a person, not just a complete computer.
Yeah.
That is watching the screen at the end of the day. I think, in general, in conclusion of VAR, all of it just needs to be more, like, people just need to be more aware of what is happening. Because it's only watching that video on Sky Sports and reading, like, a deep article about, like, after the Tottenham game, not even during, I think this was, when I found out about that's what they decided. You know, that's only people like me and Swansea fans are going to read that article all the way through and see why that was disallowed, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for all fans to see. They're still keeping it weirdly secret.
I mean,
what's happening.
even in the video we watched, it wasn't that, like, disruptive, was it? Like, hearing what they said between them. We heard what Ryan Mason said, and we heard what Laura was saying back to him.
Yeah.
And it, like, made sense. Like, you could have played that on the telly.
I don't know why it's not. It's such a weird, like, football thing to be like, nah, we can't hear that, because I feel like rugby is so smooth with this kind of thing.
It just sort of implies that you don't trust football fans.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of like, nah, we can't tell them, like, that this is actually a foul, because what if they, like, start a fight or something? And you're like, well, like...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but, like, rugby fans don't do it. Like, no, you trust everyone else but us. And you're like, nah, you might go, oh, well, yeah, we already sit in the stands going, referees or anchor. So they're like, nah, we can't bring VAR into this. And you're like,
we are one of the few sports that has to have its fans separated into, like, home and away. They don't just integrate.
Yeah.
Because it's too, like, dangerous. You know, that really confused me when I saw, like, an ice hockey game and everyone just sat together. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Well, I could just punch Dave next to me if he calls, like, Harry Kane a dick. Like,
yeah, that is pretty weird, to be fair, though.
Yeah, but, you know, it's just nicer sports.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was an interesting point as well by Laura in it, that she was saying because she was part of it in all the process, it felt quite quick.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're busy as the VAR person doing something, but for the fans that are sat waiting around, it's not actually that quick.
Yeah.
So it was important to see why, I guess, they won't be so rushed in their decision making, because they're like, oh yeah, you know, it would seem to them as if it's going quickly because they're doing something.
Yeah.
But it obviously isn't. So then I feel like they need to be made more aware of how long it's actually taking them. There should be like in call centre jobs when you're like, oh, you need to deal with this person in this amount of time, or like, oh, you can only have this amount of time without taking a call or something like that.
Yeah.
There needs to be like, oh, VAR, come on, get a decision within 2 minutes, or else we're going to go back to the official's original decision. Just so that, like, there's a set time. They can't just be like, oh, is it, isn't it? And the ref, meanwhile, is just, you know, stuck there with his finger in his ear. The fans are like, do I cheer this goal or not?
Yeah.
Don't know anymore. Sat for like 5 minutes. So
it's mostly Tottenham fans anyway, so I'm not too worried about it.
We do seem to be constantly involved in all the VAR. All the pictures I saw of any VAR articles lately is constantly the Tottenham-Rochdale match. like, oh, does it work around the world? And it was like the scoreboard of the Tottenham, like, VAR review. It was all us.
I can't wait for it at the World Cup. Can't see how that's going to go.
Oh, God, they're using it at the World Cup, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh.
To be fair, I feel like that would be a perfect example of where we're just incompetent and everyone else in the world can do it right. Like, that would be so typical if we were like, VAR, piece of shit, and it doesn't work. And then we'd get to the World Cup and there'd be like a bunch of, I don't know, like French people who were like, oh, we just had VAR, it's easy. What is your problem? You cannot do it in 2 minutes? Oh, man. It would be like, oh, damn it, it's just us.
Yeah.
Do you want to predict the England games?
Yeah, I can't predict any of the other ones, really.
So the first one we've got is against the Netherlands, I believe.
It is, yeah. Interestingly as well, on a quick side note.
Yes.
Jordan Pickford already been named as goalkeeper by Southgate. For reference, we're recording this on a Thursday and we're playing tomorrow, aren't we, against the Netherlands?
Yeah.
So he's already named the goalkeeper, which is, I don't know, a bit of a bold move to come out and just be like, this is my keeper.
I mean, the game doesn't matter anyway, so...
No, but I feel like if I was going to come out and be like, this is my keeper, I'd just be like, this is my team. Why not? Mess with the opposition's head, like, this is my team. Get ready for him. We're prepared.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you're so, like... It feels like just a PR move because everyone's like, ooh, which keeper's going to play? And he's like, oh, shit, I need to give an answer, don't I? I can't leave that to, like... Because, like, you know, I don't know if every club does it. I think they presumably do. But every week, it's an hour beforehand that I see the Tottenham lineup. And, like, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't just wait for that tomorrow. I don't know why you can't just let us be like, oh, what's
I feel
the team?
like he just got pissed off at everyone asking him.
That's what I mean. It's just such a, like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to do this just because everyone's annoying me with who's the keeper. But, yeah.
I feel like I would too.
I would as well. But I would just name the team. Just be like, yeah, fuck it.
What, they're like, who's playing in goal? And you're like, well, Vardy's starting up front. And you're like, I didn't ask you that. Like,
no, I didn't mean
moving
like
into
that.
midfield, we have. And
That's
you're
like that. I meant just like, if I'm going to name the keeper, I'd just be like, yeah, this is the rest of my team too.
What are you going for a prediction then?
So England v Netherlands.
Yes.
I don't know.
I think it will be a...
Ball draw.
1-1 draw.
Well, I was going to say 0-0, but...
Treat yourself.
I 2-1 England.
2-1, wow. So exciting. I can't wait for it. Who's going to score?
Andros Townsend? No.
I feel like it'll be like Adam Lallana or someone.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
Who's going to play centre attack? Maybe Dele Alli?
Adam Lallana and like Oxlade-Chamberlain I'll go for. Seems like that kind of game. Like it'll be like deflected goals or something.
Do you know what? Who it will be? It'll be... oh shit! Who are our centre backs? Maybe it won't be one of them.
What, Alfie Mawson?
Maybe it'll be like John Stones or something. It'll be shitty like corner.
Yeah.
And then like it'll fall to whoever plays left wing. Let's say Rashford.
Okay.
So that's gonna be my prediction. Shitty corner. Somebody like Lallana shooting from outside the box. It bounces off someone, falling to Rashford, coming off the wing, goal. That'd be my prediction. Honest prediction.
Interesting. I hope that happens now because that was so specific. Like that's going to be incredible if you actually predicted the
goals.
future.
It's not going to be like Dele Alli just chips over the defence to Harry Kane, who brings it down and smashes into the top left corner. Is it? It's not going to be that.
No, because Harry Kane would miss if he was playing for England anyway.
Yeah, Dele Alli can't seem to do anything when he's playing for England.
Italy, I feel like we'll just lose 1-0 and that'll be boring. But you know, go England! Woo!
I think we'll lose like 2-0 to be honest.
2-0. Does Balotelli play for Italy? Do you think?
Do you mean?
I mean, I know he has before,
right,
but like, do you think he
might play
in
this
the
time.
like? Is he in the reckoning? I don't know.
I don't know. Who's
went
the
to
Italian striker?
I've got like a couple of people who play in like the German league, haven't they? Like Immobile. I can never pronounce his name properly, but people like that where I'm like, I've heard of you, but then I don't know.
Amazing.
I saw him like he was like 5th most goals I think he's got out of everyone in Europe.
Okay.
Because they had like Salah and Kane and other people, and I was like, oh, it's that guy that. Like who looks like it says immobile, but it doesn't say immobile. Like I
always see him on FIFA, and I'm like, you're good, but I'll take like Aubameyang.
Yeah, you want to come out here? Well, I think that wraps up the podcast.
Yeah, quite a lot of discussions.
Yes, we had some heated debates.
Yeah, it got very political. The whole Russian, and then
man, we
got into the whole VAR debate, which I think we've stayed kind of away from for good reason until now, and they brought out a whole promotional video about it.
I'm gonna put like some really angry photoshopped faces in our thumbnail. Have like say we're gonna fight someone. We were just so angry about the debate. We just
Yeah.
Do it for the views. Anyway, drop your predictions for the England game if you care about it. I don't, but
let us know if you are going to Russia and you're one of the few that's going to actually watch.
Yes. Do tell me if you're going to Russia, because that would be interesting.
I'd be very intrigued to see who's actually going to Russia.
But yeah, and then we'll be back next week. Hopefully England will have won and we can say happy words about them.
And then we can get back onto some actual normal predictions that we care about
and then
in
we
the
can
Premier League.
Get back to normal football with good players in it that actually pass the ball forwards.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 Bye.